Gonna see if the ball, Dante. I missed it. All right, all right. Welcome, boys, to the Dolla Bets weekly show. I am your host, James, alongside Kevin Davis. Kev, say hello to the people.
What's going on, guys?
Just want to thank everybody for joining in on the show, and hopefully, we get more and more people come in. If you want to interact with the show, there is a comment section up at the I think, top right hand corner. If you're on a computer, or I think on your cell phone, there's like a little, I think, a message bubble that you can pop in. If you have any questions, you can obviously message the show while we talk. Oregon just scored, so that's going to get tied up. And all right, so we're not officially dead after the first pick six in the first play of the game.
Yeah, I know. I just saw the touchdown now. I was just gonna let everybody know too. If you put anything in the general chat, I'm going back and forth uh between this and everything else. So
Yeah,
could also read out any questions and stuff like that that anybody has.
yeah. Let me know if you guys are having any audio issues or if you can't hear any of us. I think I sound pretty good. Kev, from what I hear, and you sound like you're pretty good too. So
Yeah.
cool, cool. Thank you, Daddy G. So, all right. Well, like I said, welcome to our first official show. This has been about, I would say, what, 15 years, 14 years in the making, Kev? I
Yeah,
was,
just about. Yeah, I watched the I watched the first show the other night. Just a little bit of nostalgia on YouTube,
yeah, if,
and just the way we sounded back then was crazy.
yeah, as many as you probably guys don't know, me and Kev back in the day, we actually tried this out before it became a cool thing, and we posted some videos on YouTube. Um, it was going pretty well, and I think both our computers broke simultaneously at the same time, and we were like, all right, well, we'll get back to it. Well, 14 years later, we said, screw it. I think it's finally time.
14 years, two kids later from me, and
It's
said, "Yep, let's
14 years of me just
let's."
dicking around. So, all right.
Well, we
So,
we were way ahead of the game, and I always said
oh,
that we were
yeah.
way ahead of the game.
Absolutely. I've been watching those videos back in the day of just us, you know, during the summer of all the sports stuff, memorabilia all around and everything. Just
Oh my god, it was
makes,
amazing.
yeah, brings us back to great times. But we're going to continue making
Hmm.
great times, especially in this Discord. We're going to go basically what our show is going to be about each week is obviously, betting, uh, mostly fantasy football and just everyday sports life between all of our teams and just the everyday news going around in sports. I can pretty much say that we'll based off the season that we're in, like basketball, like right now it'll be NFL playoffs. Then once February gets past, we'll dive into college basketball. Well, I'll let dive into college basketball. I just kind of follow a lead, and
Yeah, I've been ice cold as of late, but college
me and you both.
basketball is usually one of my strong points.
Me and you both. It's because we're focused on
Um,
the NFL right now. So
oh, I know it's insane. And then yeah, and as far as like breaking news and anything like that else goes, like I know we're gonna try to limit it to like one day a week, but if anything crazy comes out, we'll probably hop on. We'll do a little segment for a little bit here and there, depending on what the news is.
yeah, it's like almost like an emergency pod for about 10, 15 minutes, depending on what happened. Hey, if someone gets traded, the Mets finally sign somebody, but who knows? I think they'd just rather be cheap
Or
now again.
or if this what we're going to talk about next gets retroactively turned around, that'll be definitely a big breaking news.
Yeah, so as you guys may have known by now, I've kind of talked to a couple of our members in the chat about it. Is this whole new big bill, big beautiful bill, whatever garbage that it calls, um, basically saying that if you are an even better, basically, if you clear zero at the end of the year. You used to be, you know, be able to write off 100% of the bets, and then based off what you won is what you would get taxed on. Now it's kind of shifted a little bit towards the 90% range. So you're going to get taxed on a even on your winnings, and you can't really write them off anymore. So it's kind of been, you know, trying to learn exactly how to go about it, how to fix, gambling, for us, how are we going to, you know, knock it down to help each other to figure out a way to kind of not defeat the system, but help us in the song war. But I think I've kind of, and Kev, we've kind of talked about it off air, that,
Yeah.
a little bit of ways that being that it's going to basically do 90% of winnings and losses. That any bet that I've won going forward since this thing has come about is taking 10% of that winnings and putting it to a side. Win $50,
Yeah.
take $5 out of it, put it to a side account, whatever it may be. Um, there is hopefully good news is that the Fair Bet Act got put into play, so which means they have a full year to kind of fix this, and hopefully
Right
we
their
don't have to
wrong
deal
per
with it.
se.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
think
hopefully like if we save 10% of our winnings and let's just say by July, the bill gets retroactively reversed. Whatever you saved from now till July, you can use it as a deposit bonus because I'm sure there's probably going to be one, and you can put your 10% winnings back into your account, and then you wouldn't have to worry about paying any taxes. So what we're hoping for right now is that the bill gets switched, but in the meantime, to save our losses or save our winnings, is to just take 10% out, leave it off to the side, don't touch it. And then this way you're just kind of, covering your own ass when it comes to the end of the year.
yeah, you're essentially going to be, hopefully, I hope to the point where we're winning so much this year that it comes to it doesn't really, affect us at all. And, but if it does get reversed, then we come back and say, hey, we got an extra 10% of winnings chilling in our bank, and we could do whatever with it. Like you said, we're doing the deposit bonus, and then, or just keep it on the side. So here's
Yeah.
to hopefully good news. Like I've said in the chat before, and like kind of in our welcome section, bet responsibly. Don't bet over your head. Um, I know this last week has been kind of bad, especially on my part after a great first week. So you just got to kind of ride the wave when know not to overbet, when, to kind of
Yeah.
count
Take it chill.
and be smart. Be smart. Yeah, don't do
Yeah.
anything dumb, especially once we find out more information about this as we go.
Yep. Exactly. And I know college basketball comes and you're sitting down, it's a Saturday, you look at your phone, there's 90 plus games on. You don't have to bet all 90. You know, you, there's money in the crumbs somewhere. You could find winners. That's usually where I come in because I'm the sicko that. I mean, as of right now, as we speak, I'm watching Northern Kentucky play Milwaukee. Um,
Yeah,
so you
Kev will
know, you
randomly Kev will randomly text me like, "Yo, take Northern Kentucky plus 3.5." I'm like, I didn't even know they were a school. I don't even know this.
didn't even know.
So
Yep, like the other like a couple of years ago, I kind of rode a wave with the team Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and I never even knew who they were. They caught fire in like their conference tournament, and I was just
forget
like,
about it.
wow. I'm like the same thing with like Campbell Camels, and I was like, geez. But
So
yep, it just can't go over your means, and uh, especially with college basketball, Dolla Bets is a perfect name for if you do want to be a sicko and bet 30 games. $30 and $1 a game ain't too bad.
so now that we got that all together, let's kind of dive into the NFL playoffs this weekend. Well, we'll talk about right now is Oregon and Indiana. While we have this going on, Oregon, Indiana is still tied right now. I think Indiana's driving though. I was have it on the other TV, but
Yeah.
let's hopefully the Ducks just cover. Hopefully they win, get a nice little national championship. But on to the NFL playoffs. There's six great games this whole weekend. Kev, I know you're extremely excited after Tyler Loop. I think just missed another field goal again.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. He's a national treasure in this household. For you, those of you that don't know, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I will be writing to him very soon to thank him. Unlike the ungrateful Baltimore fans that have been wishing him harm.
we got to send him
Um, but
edible
before
arrangements.
exactly, yes, to him and his lovely wife. Um, Before we get into the games, I have a couple notes about some of the games before we dive in. Um, as regards to like picks and road teams and
Mhm.
all this other stuff.
Okay.
So one of them that I found was kind of crazy. Um, in the last 29 NFC wildcard games, the underdog against the spread is 19-9-1, and the three teams of this week are Carolina, the Bears, and San Fran. Um, wild card road favorites. There's been 22 since 2008. The four this year are the Rams, the Packers, the Bills, and the Texans. Um, since 2008, they're 12-10 straight up, and they're 8-13-1 against the spread. Um, and then as far as wild card dogs go versus non-playoff teams the previous year, the record is 21-2 against the spread since 2013, an average cover of 8 points per game. So just gonna let that sit there for a little bit.
Well, I mean, being that Bill's kind of numbers, we actually dives us right into our first one with a pretty big spread with the Rams
Hmm.
and Panthers. Now, I took a look at this game. I've been, I do think the Rams are going to win. I do think the Rams are going to win. It is a giant spread. 10, 10 and a half
Yep. Which
is
I feel like everybody right now, they see 10.5, they see NFL, they think, wow, it's a big number. Carolina's home. Me personally, I think it's a rout. I think the Rams torch them. I think they blow them out of the stadium. I know it's going to be a rainy game, but I don't think it matters. I think the Rams are just so good. I think there's like three NFL teams that are elite right now, and two of them are in the
in the
NFC,
NFC.
which is the Rams and the Seahawks. Uh, I just think the Rams just. I think they demolish them. I don't even think it's going to be that close of a game. The Panthers already beat them, and McVay, I feel like he's the bulletin board. Like he seems like that type of a coach where he's gonna make sure that his guys come out to play, and especially with Devontae Adams coming back.
Well, I think my biggest thing is that the last time they played, obviously Carolina, pull off an upset. But that whole game, um, it was weird. Stafford had 2 to 3 interceptions, if I'm not mistaken, or 2 interceptions and a fumble or something around that category. And
Yeah, it's very
they,
fluky.
yeah, and interceptions happen, so I'm not gonna like take credit away from Carolina. If anything, I'm kind of really upset with how that game plan was, kind of developed because Kyron Williams and Blake Corum were running all over them the whole game. And I think, if
Yep.
I'm not mistaken, they had about 19 carries throughout the whole game, and they were like going for 6 or 7 yards a pop. And though I
Yeah.
remember it fondly because I remember having Kyron Williams over his rushing yards that day, which were like down to like 55 and a half that day. And he cleared it, I think, by the middle of the second quarter because he was running for 6, 7 yards a pop. And then it's just they kind
Yeah.
of got away with it, away from it. And by the goal line, I know he got picked off twice, Stafford, and that kind of killed any momentum for him to come back because I think they were down quick, like 14-0, if I'm not mistaken. And then they roared back, took the lead, and then Carolina, kind of put the hammer down a little bit. And I think I'm on your side with this. I do think the Rams are going to rout them. I don't know if I have the cojones to put minus 10.5. Um,
I
but
might alternate that line to -14.
you're on that, just absolutely
I
smack.
I
You know what? And with the
honestly
rain too, with the rain potentially being a big thing, and then watching Carolina not be able to basically do anything in that Tampa Bay, the last game of the year when the division was on the line, couldn't move the
yep.
ball against a Tampa Bay defense that's obviously a lot worse than the Rams defense. So
In the first game, because I'm looking at it now, the Rams did jump out to a 7-0 lead very early.
no, they didn't.
Um, and then the Panthers touchdown, big chunk play, 35 yards. Their next touchdown was a pick six. Um, and then their other touchdowns were another big chunk play for 35 yards, and then another one for 43 yards. So, be that as it may, granted, they had a lot of yards. They pretty much outgained them in everything.
Mhm.
But the turnovers played a huge factor into that.
They did.
I
They
just don't
did
think that Stafford's gonna. I
do
don't
it
think
again.
he's gonna make that many mistakes again.
Yeah, and being with the Rams, like the last couple, I would say 3 or 4 weeks, they kind of seem, you know, um, what's the word I'm looking for? They seemed a little,
With
shaken.
the
But
Rams,
yeah, the Rams, the last couple weeks losing to Atlanta,
they've been
I
playing a
think
little
that,
lackluster. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. And I think McVay and this, McVay's a great coach, as we know, but McVay, I think he really wanted to get Stafford as many, you know, stats as possible, as high as possible, to get him that MVP. Because as of right now, I think Drake May's in a league for MVP, and we'll talk about Drake May in a little bit. In the league for MVP, I
Mhm.
personally think it's Stafford. Um,
I think it's
just
Stafford
based,
too. I
yeah,
I think based off of competition and just the way that the committee sometimes looked at these things, where they're like Stafford's at the end of his career, Drake May still has the rest of his career left. Um, but I just think that uh, just the
they might
level of
just give it to him.
competition.
Yeah, and yeah, I
Yeah, they
agree
might
with the
just give it to
competition too.
Stafford, to be honest.
Playing in a division with Seattle, while they're Drake May plays the Jets twice a year is you know
Yeah,
kind of tells you what you need to tell you. But
yeah.
but I looked in the comments. I do see we'd have a question about how do we feel about the unders in the NFL playoffs. I do have one under that we'll talk about when we get there. But there's
Well, I have
definitely
about four unders. I have
oh you
about
go
four. So, and
oh
and
you
one
went
of
up
them
from
is
a
in
lot.
this game.
You went oh you're going to take the under. Okay, so basically just 45
Yes.
nothing Rams.
Pretty much. Yeah. No, no. I see this being like very close. Like, I honestly think that it could be, uh, like a 27-10 game. Like, it's not going to be like I think 27-10 is a good prediction. I don't think Carolina is going to do too much. I think the last time they played, a lot of it was fluky. Um, the two interceptions, the fumble, the fact that the Rams only had the ball for 24 minutes. Uh, if Carolina can run the ball and establish a run game, it could be a long day for the Rams. But I just don't think that Stafford's going to make those many mistakes again.
I just, based off the underlying stats between how the both offensive and defensive line mix up, all the stats, I don't think Carolina is out of the 20s when it comes to anything, whether it be pass rush, pass
No.
blocking, run stopping. Like, th there's a bunch of games this year where they got smoked. I mean, I think the Bills
Yep.
come to mind. I think they lost like what 47-7 or something like that.
Well,
And
I don't know if you know, because I took a look at Carolina's schedule. They literally went win loss win loss win loss win loss, and that was another thing I had is Carolina is 8-0 against the spread straight up after a loss, because they went win loss win loss win loss win loss the whole year. They
yeah,
didn't win
they covered
consecutive
everything.
games this whole year. Yeah,
It's honestly insane, and I think that's why I took them
it's
on the
nuts.
money line last week. I probably should have just took the points because I think I've read something exactly to that stat saying,
I
okay,
rooted for
well,
chaos last week, so
yeah, when we got it, and we honestly got it, and
yeah,
we
well,
came close to
I
getting it
rooted for
fully.
chaos and I got it. Yeah, I know. Ugh, God, but
But all right,
and then
so
I
I
have a
think
couple
we're
player props in this. I have a
okay.
couple player props in this game too, but um, I like Blake Corum over 9.5 rushing attempts.
Hmm.
Um, right now it's -115 on, and every prop or play that I'm giving out is on DraftKings. Um, I think they're just gonna, like you said at the beginning, where like they ran the ball down their throat. I think they're gonna do the same thing again. I have Kyron Williams over 66.5 rushing yards. Uh,
Hmm.
it's -109, and then just a little player parlay. Uh, Devontae Adams to get 4 catches and a touchdown. Parlay that's plus 126. Right now, his touchdown is like -175. So you have to
He's
find
been.
something to
Hmm.
make it balanced so it's not too juiced.
Yeah, Adam seems to just be always around the end zone. I think what does he have? 10 touchdowns this year or something to the number or close to it at
Well,
least.
yeah, if they're inside the 5 yard line,
It's going
don't
to
be
him.
looking for Kyron Williams or Blake Corum. It's going to Devontae Adams.
Yeah, and you know what? Last game,
And
and this goes to what you were saying. Last game, they did that against Carolina, and they picked them off. I think once or in the end zone, and
yeah,
it's just I think McVay will right his wrong. But so that may
hmm
actually go towards your under, so what you're talking about, because if McVay is smart, all he has to do is run this football the whole game, and he'll
oh yeah,
control the clock for 10 minutes a drive. But Sean McVay he likes to air it out too. So once you get
yes.
that little knack that Stafford completes one pass, another pass, okay, it looks great. He completely abandons the run, and sometimes that gets him into trouble more so than he thinks he
hmm
does. So.
Yeah,
I think
and
I'm
it's
on
gonna
you with
rain the whole game.
yes,
It's gonna rain too.
yeah. I think one little, last one before we move on to the next game. Um, if there's one guy I like on Carolina, because sometimes I like to run it back with a player prop from another team based off how I think the game script is going to go. If there's one guy
Yep.
I think that can have a touchdown, I think it could be Coker. Bryce seems to really
Yeah.
like him, especially in when they're
Especially
doing
if
running higher.
he breaks the coverage. Yep.
Yeah, especially in hurry up offenses too. Especially, they're going to be down what we think they're going to be down, so it actually works out perfectly. All
hmm
right, so let's move on to Green Bay and Chicago.
Yep. And all the plays after the show, I'm gonna put into my best
Mhm,
bet, along as James putting it into his best bet. So you'll be able to see them in after the show. So
yeah, yeah. I
this
have
way
a
we can get these
couple.
lines early. So this way they're not going to be flipping. Because I could tell you, just with a couple of these games, these lines are so back and forth. Like this next game.
So as this next game, we have the Green Bay Packers and Chicago Bears in Soldier Field. I believe it's opened up as Chicago -1.5. It's now Chicago +1.5. Um,
Yep.
As a resident Viking fan, if they somehow tie, even though they can't, I would love that. So they both get eliminated. But if there's any way possible, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I do think Green Bay is going to win this game. And the only reason why I say that is because the two games that they played, Green Bay's, one of them they had the lead. Obviously, Caleb throws the pick at the end, and I think it was the first game. And then in the second game, they
Yeah.
had the onside kick. The onside kick that bounced
Yep.
off, I think, two players, three players, and went right to Chicago. Now it happened,
Yeah. It took a
so
lucky
you can't.
pass.
Yeah,
hmm
it can't. You can't deny it. You can't fault it. You can't, say, "Oh, just take it away." You can't. But at the end of the day,
No.
I just, for some reason, they just have this little knack over Chicago, and it's been like that obviously for years with Rodgers on the team, and then I think far before that. Um, it doesn't always go the way obviously Chicago wants it to. And I'm sure Big Cat
hmm
from Barstool can obviously attest to that. But it just seems like, do you remember the year that they made the playoffs with Trubisky? and they played, what was it,
Oh
Philly,
yeah, the double doink, the
the
double
double
doink
doink.
game. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It feels like that where it's like, oh yeah, they had a good season for the first time in who knows how long, but are they really better than the other team that they're playing? Now, Green Bay doesn't have Michael Parsons, but they also didn't have Michael Parsons in the last game they played. Chicago needs to for Chicago to win this game. They need to run the football. They need to run the football with Monangai and Swift as much as possible because Green Bay's defense has looked awful against the run the last 2 or 3 weeks since he's gotten hurt. Now, this is where Ben Johnson, his trick plays and everything and pushing more onto the quarterback comes into play. But for Chicago to win this game, I'm going to take Green Bay. But if Chicago runs the football effectively, they're going to win the game. I just think that just the way history has gone, just the way these teams match up against each other, I think I'm just going to take Green Bay on the money line. Um, it just kind of
Mhm.
it just screams to me. I actually didn't want it to happen. I wanted Green Bay to play somebody else because I wanted Green Bay to play like Philly. Because if they played Philly, Philadelphia would have won easily. And then Chicago would have played the
Yeah,
Niners, and then I think the Niners could potentially win that game too. But the Bears have a better chance against the Niners than Green Bay. So, what do you think? What about on your side? How you feel about it?
I've been going. So I've been going back and forth, and we talked about this last night a little bit. I, to be honest with you, I don't know, man. There's some weird voodoo type magic in Chicago. Um, and when you have a team that consistently they're down late in a game and they come back and they fight their way back and then they end up winning these games where you're sitting there saying to yourself, how did this even happen? Like how did they pull this off? You
Hmm.
know, it's almost like that feeling of like no matter how much of a lead the other team has, that Bears team is going, we were down 16 to nothing to Detroit last week at home with 8 minutes left to go in the game, and we almost won. It's like Caleb Williams is like a magician. Like he's like just pulling a rabbit out of his hat. I think the snow, it's gonna be in the morning. It says because I just looked up the weather that it's gonna clear out when game time does start.
Hmm.
But right now, I don't know. I've been going back. I'm on the Bears. I'm on the Bears plus 1.5 and the under 44 and a half right now. And a couple of my props are just exactly what you said. I have DeAndre Swift over rushing and receiving yards. It's 76 and a half right now. And then I
Actually, a
have
good number.
Monungai to get a touchdown. Yeah, and I have Monungai to get a touchdown. Um, I just think that they're going to be very run heavy. I personally don't think that Green Bay is going to be able to stop the run. Um, Micah Parsons getting hurt, of course, didn't make that any better. But it seems like though when he plays that other teams run better because it's you almost kind of want to run towards the blitz because that's where everything kind of like opens. Um, and then another player prop that I have just because it's a weird line and you can get great value on it right now and it's plus money is Jaden Reed over 3.5 receptions. It's plus 123. He's hit this number in his last 4 games. Granted, Malik Willis was playing, but I, me and you have talked about Jordan Love. I'm not the biggest Jordan Love fan. I don't think he's as good as what everybody says he is. I think he's just a check down Charlie. Um, and I don't know what Lafleur and them are doing as far as like. Well, I feel like they have 4 of the same receivers on the team with like Golden, Dobbs, Reed, Devontae Wicks, who's I don't think he's playing. Um, it's just whoever Lafleur likes that day, I guess. Like he just wakes up and goes, "Yeah, I'm just gonna play Reed today," or "I'm just gonna give Dobbs 7 catches." I think this is a Jaden Reed game.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I'm leaning towards Chicago, very Chicago heavy. Uh, I don't want to. just because of the history that these teams have had. Um, but I honestly think Chicago just pulls magic out of their hat again.
Hmm. Yeah, and you're talking about Jordan Love and the receivers for Green Bay. It's kind of like the
Hmm.
old days of, they don't have a true number one wide receiver. It's like the Marquis Colston New Orleans Saints, like during the Sean
Yeah,
Payton, Drew Brees
yeah,
era. It's just you
yep.
never know which week it was going to be. My player prop for
Who was
Green
it? Who
Bay.
was the other guy that was with Marquise Colston? Who was
Oh
the
my
other
goodness.
receiver? Oh, Robert Meacham. Robert Meacham.
Yes, yes, Robert Meacham. If
Thank
it
God.
wasn't
Jesus,
if
I
it
can't
wasn't
believe I told him.
Colston, it was Meacham. If it wasn't Meacham, it was
Yep.
Colston. If it was neither one, it was somehow, some way, whatever third string running back Sean Payton pulled out of the practice squad. And
Yeah. Who,
the
who
one
had a
player
question about the unders?
uh
Didn't
let's
somebody
see.
got a question about the unders?
Yeah, he said, how do we feel about the unders in the playoffs as a whole this weekend, basically.
Okay, so
Well, we're
over
two
the
for two.
last 5 years, over the last 5 years, the over under, um, it's 15-15. Out of the last 43 games, when the spread is 44 points or higher, the under is 32-15-1. It went 5-0 last year, the under. And then 8 out of 11 games when they're 40 points below the number, 40 points or below, that game has gone over. So, be that as it may.
Seems like 45 is like the sexy number, whether one way or another.
And a lot of and if you look at a lot of these games this weekend, it's 45, 44, 44, 45, and then the two outliers are one of them is the next game and then the other one's the Monday night game.
One player prop I do have before we go to the next game. I I am on Christian Watson over 57.5 yards. And this
Oh,
guy,
I
he
like it. That's
doesn't,
low.
yeah, it's very low and he has big playability. He also is very annoying because I feel like the guy gets hurt when he walks off the airplane and goes onto the
Oh
bus.
god.
So that
You
is
you
always
ain't
the
got to
risk
tell
of
me.
take. Yeah, that is always the risk of taking some like him. But here's the thing: one big play, he can chunk out 45 yards of that, and then a slant, and then he's done for the day. And that's kind of
And
what I'm hoping
with
for here. Good.
and with DraftKings is early exit, you still get covered for it.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, yeah, DraftKings. Reason why everyone is that we kind of stick to DraftKings because of that early exit, where if a player is hurt in the first half and does not play in the second half at all, then they give you your money back or take the leg off your parlay. Unlike all the other sports book who after the first quarter,
Yes.
like FanDuel, but that's
Juan, we know you live in Florida. Strike a deal with the Seminoles. I'm sure that they'll help it out.
yeah. Talk to Hard Rock Cafe. Let them know that we need it. We need this to help you out.
Tell them Dollar Bet sent you.
Yeah. So next game, and I think we could probably say is the game of the week with the game of the weekend.
Absolutely. That's why I was
Uh,
so pissed when they made the schedule and they showed the games. I'm like, what are we doing? Why is New England and the Chargers the 8 o'clock game and it's not the Bills and Jags? I don't know what the NFL is thinking, but I don't know. This game shouldn't
well,
be 1 o'clock.
it was funny because when it came out, the Sunday night game, when we're watching the game, and we come out, and me and my sister were talking, and we're like, who's going to play at what day? We thought the Houston game would be at 4:30 on Saturday because that's all the Houston Texans play on Wild Card Weekend is
Yep.
that 4:30
Yep.
Saturday game. But we
I was hoping
absolutely,
get my game out of the way.
yeah, we absolutely nailed the Green Bay Chicago being the Saturday night game, and then we
Mhm.
also nailed the Buffalo Jacksonville at 1 o'clock. I think the only thing we obviously had wrong was the Houston game, and then I thought they were going to push um, the Rams game to the Sunday or Monday night, and then the
Mhm.
Patriot. I thought the Patriot game was probably going to be more Sunday night, but they wanted one either Drake May or Matthew Stafford to be one of the headline based off the MVP race. But let's dive into this Buffalo Jags game. I'm going to let you lead off with this. Look, who do you like in the game to win it?
I am. I'm on the Jags. I'm on the Jags heavy. Um, I feel like everybody and their mother is going to go with the Bills. That line has been going back and forth too. Um, it started out. I want to say the Jags were plus 1.5. Now they're minus 1.5. Um, but a couple notes. Jags, when the over under is 49 or higher, do you know what their record is? Just take a
Tell
guess.
their record like
They're
this
oh
year,
they're
or
they're they're no, just all time. When and they are when the spread is 49 points. Or Jesus, Oregon,
did
what
you
are we
you just
doing?
saw that
When
Dante Moore
yeah,
he just cemented himself as the next Jets quarterback after that
he
play.
no he no he needs to stay in college. He needs to. He's not ready.
Oh my goodness!
When the total is 49 points or higher, the Jacksonville Jaguars are 0-23.
Oh my god!
They're due. They're due.
Yeah, you got to be due at some
But
point.
but that goes to my next counterpoint. Josh Allen is 0-4 straight up and against the spread, and Buffalo has lost 8 consecutive outright games on the road in the playoffs. Their last one when I was 2 years old, 1993.
That was
Something's
one
got to give.
something's got to give. All right, so you're on
As of right now, I'm on the Jags in the over.
Jags in the over. Okay.
Yep.
I have also gone back and forth to this. I started on Monday liking the Jags. By Wednesday, I like the Bills, and now today I'm back on the Jags. Um,
Mhm.
it just between the two
They're just a better
teams.
team.
Yeah, it's Josh Allen versus the Jaguars, and Josh Allen and James
Absolutely.
Cook because James Cook has had a great year, but Josh Allen and James Cook versus the world basically, and
Hmm.
what the Buffalo Bills are really good at is running the football. The Jacksonville Jaguars' best thing about their defense is stopping the run. So
Exactly.
it kind of Josh Allen's going to have to play Superman for them to win this game. The only thing that might really help Buffalo in this situation is that Trevor Lawrence does have a comeback win in the playoffs. I will say that. Um, if Trevor Lawrence is going to play like Trevor Lawrence has the last 6 weeks, they're going to easily win this game. If
Yes, a hundred
if
percent. Like this is
if
the Trevor Lawrence that we thought we were going to see.
Yep, we waited for this for years, and now obviously Urban Meyer destroyed everything the first year. Then Doug Peterson coached them up a little bit, and then kind of started going backwards last year. And I think they got a great coach in Liam Cohen, especially offensively, that has helped them, and it helped him basically believe in himself to
Look at
go through
everybody
everything. Yeah.
make, making fun of that guy, the Duval, at the beginning of the year, and this guy's third seed in the playoffs, the biggest goober in the world.
Yep. Third seed in the playoffs. I wish I was the biggest goober in the world to be the third seed in the playoffs. 100%.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm on the Jaguars. I didn't know about the over under. I might just ride with you on the over. I'm not 100% on it yet, but I
I
do
just
want to
think it
see
could be a
some scoring.
shootout.
Yeah, I want to see some scoring
Yeah.
this weekend on games that we think a lot of them are going to be unders, but I want to see some scoring.
Yep.
The couple props I do have is ETN over his rushing yards. I
Mm.
think if I'm not mistaken, let me look real quick at my notes.
For your
That's
sake, I'm going to stay away from ETN because every time I bet ETN rushing yards, it never comes close. So
so just
I will
bet the
not
under,
be
dude.
riding with you.
So just bet the under and
I
help
will
me out
not be
here.
riding. Yeah, yeah, right. I'll bet the under, and it'll get like 250.
Yeah, you'll bet the under at 65 and a half, and I'll bet the over at 66 and a half, and it'll hit at 66. And it screw us both.
Yep.
So, and then on the Buffalo side, they got to get this guy the ball. but Dalton Kincaid needs to have a Dalton Kincaid game like he had against Kansas City earlier this year,
Yeah.
especially at a team against a tight end that was not that great, that was pretty good. To beat the Jacksonville defense, you need to throw the ball to the tight end. And Dalton Kincaid's
Yeah.
obviously their most talented receiver. Khalil Shakir is very good. I just don't know if this game fits him more so than Kincaid. But
Hmm.
they got to use him. They got to use Knox. Josh Allen has to play Superman, I think, and win to win this game. Can I definitely?
Yep.
The Bills don't win this game 17-10. The Bills win this game 34-31. That's how they're going to win this game.
Absolutely. That's why the over is, I think, the play, especially because I feel like we're gonna get not let down, but I feel like we're gonna have two lackluster games on Saturday, and everybody's gonna be like, "What the hell is going on?" And then Sunday, it's gonna be electric, and then you're gonna go into a depressing Philadelphia San Francisco game, or we'll get into that next. But I have a couple player props from this one that I like.
Mm.
I have Parker Washington over his receiving yards. Trevor Lawrence has definitely found something with Parker Washington. He's like a
Do the
uh
dog.
he's like he's a running back that plays slot receiver, and he's honestly amazing. It's 52 and a half. I think that's kind of low, especially against Buffalo's defense for I don't know whatever reason. Um I have Trevor Lawrence to score a touchdown. He's been doing it every
I
week
like
I
that a
feel like
lot.
for the past
I like that a
it's
lot.
plus 170, so you're
Hmm.
going to get plus money on it. And then, like you said before, all my games with the player props, it kind of goes on game script. Josh Allen's got to be Superman. I have him over 38 and a half rushing yards. It's at minus 111. I think that's the only way that Buffalo wins this game is if he just puts the cape on.
Yep.
Just because I think that Jacksonville has so much of a better team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I think I'm definitely on you with Trevor Lawrence scoring a touchdown. And I'm also heavy on Josh Allen and his over his rushing yards because like you
Yeah.
said, Superman and Superman's gonna need to, put on his cape twice to win this game for him.
Yep.
All right. So let's move on to the beginning of the last three games. We got San Francisco 49ers and Philadelphia Eagles. I just checked the line actually, maybe like 5 minutes ago. This line went up to six.
I got it at 5.5. I won't tell
If
you who yet, but I got it at 5.5.
I I'm on I don't care. I am on the San Francisco 49ers to win this football game. I don't
Hmm.
really I don't like the Eagles. I don't like, no one likes the Eagles. That's number one. But the
Yeah.
Eagles themselves have looked like crap all year. They've gone away with murder in a lot of these games. And
Yep.
especially 2 weeks ago against the Bills, Josh Allen completely missing the guy wide open. Didn't understand. I don't know
Yep.
how he missed Khalil Shakir that wide open, but just that itself doesn't make any sense. The number is crazy to me. Six. I understand the Philadelphia love, but six is to me is just astronomical. I'm going to take money line for half a unit. For a full unit, I'm going to take the 6 points. And honestly, I might wait to see exact. I'm cool with 5.5, but if this
Hmm.
keeps going, I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna keep waiting and waiting and waiting. The Niners' offense
Yeah.
is so good, and I know
Hmm.
they stumbled a little bit against Seattle last week, but Kyle Shanahan does have a way of when he gets embarrassed like that, gets a little on his high horse and comes out with some ridiculous plays like the one he ran in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs a couple years ago with the handoff to Jennings, throw it back to McCaffrey, and then McCaffrey go all the way down the line. So I could definitely see a play like that happening for sure.
Yeah.
I'll let you. I kind of made it known that I'm on San Francisco, so go ahead.
Yep. Um, in this game, I already told you I have a really really bad feeling every time I watch a Philadelphia Eagles game. I want to take a nap. I think it's boring. I think they're boring. Um, I just I think they have the blueprint though. I really do. I think they're going to get Lane Johnson back for this game. He's been practicing all week. In games that he does play, they're 120 and 62 versus the games that he doesn't play when they're 15 and 27. So they're definitely better when he does play when he than when he doesn't. And just watching what Seattle did to San Fran when San Fran was at home fighting for the one seed, literally had everything on the line, got back a healthy, I guess, George Kittle. They had everything, and they couldn't do nothing. They couldn't stop anything. Seattle's defense is just so good. I know Philly's defense. I don't think their defense is as good as Seattle's, but I just think this is one of those games where you're gonna look up and 9 minutes is gonna be off the clock, and it's gonna be 7-0, and you're gonna be like, where the hell did half of this game just go? Like Philadelphia is one of those teams where they can, run, run, and then do like a short bullshit 2 yard out route and get the first down, and do the same thing over and over and over and over again, and do tush pushes until you want to rip your eyes out. I don't like it. I don't want to take Philly. I want to take the 49ers, but something is just telling me that Philly is going to win this game. They probably will get a bullshit cover. Um, and I think the under is going to be the play in this game. Um, a
So
couple player props I do. What's
so
up?
to the over under, I kind of want to come back a little bit because I want to take the over in this game. And the reason and I agree
Mhm.
with everything you're saying about
No,
them running the Eagles
I
running
get
the
your side. I
football.
wanted to take the over. Yep.
Yeah, the Eagles running the football, bleeding the clock, yada yada yada. The Niners defense is obviously not even close to as healthy as they probably should
No.
and hope they would be. Obviously, no Warner, no Bosa, no Williams, the defensive tackle they drafted. I think their backups are even hurt too.
Yeah.
Their corners actually bet the best thing about the team, which is like the first time you could say about that defense in probably years. And
Yeah.
I just think that if we think the Niners defense is that bad, right, because of the injuries, if they're
Hmm.
taking 10-minute drives, let's say 3 10-minute drives, that's 21 points right there. I think the
Yep.
Niners offense is so good to the point where they can score 21 points. I don't,
Yeah.
the, the only games that I saw them actually legitimately struggling was the Seattle game last week. And then also the
Hmm.
Jacksonville game I think in week 5 or 6 or something like that against a good defense. But that was also Purdy's like comeback off the foot injury, and then he had to
Yeah.
go back on the injured reserve or whatever it was at the time right after that game. So he got hurt again in that game. So I kind of I don't. There hasn't been a defense that hasn't really shut them down outside of that Seattle game. And
But Philly's defense is good enough.
is it to
I
the
mean, they are legit.
but would we put them at
Their
Jacksonville's level?
defensive line. Mm, maybe not this year. Last year, yeah. But Zach Bond's a dog. Uh, their defensive line are pretty much all dogs, literally Georgia Bulldogs. Um, I just, I don't know. I just feel like, how you were saying before, where you were like Kyle Shanahan was kind of like, where he could like dick around and maybe not want to show the playbook. I kind of feel like that's what Philly's been doing the whole year. I feel like they've just been dicking around because they play in a shit division. They play in a, like I feel like they've been toying with their food because Saquon is not playing the way that he did last year. He that was like his revenge year last year against the
Well, they
Giants.
can't block. They can't
Um,
block like they did last year. They're not even close to that.
well,
I
no,
think the
no,
numbers are like
no, they can't.
insanely different.
Yeah, for whatever reason. Didn't they? Did they? Do they still have Becton, or did they lose him?
No, he's on
I thought they
Chargers, I
lost
think.
somebody. I thought they lost somebody.
They might have. But it's not the same. It's not even close to the same of what it
No.
was last year. Like it's night and day. So I have a couple of the of stats that I look at during the year that makes me want to go on different player props. And one stat I did see is that when it comes to blocking, like it's what's called adjusted line and rushing yards, they're 30th in the NFL. And that's
Mhm.
horrible, which means Saquon's getting hit before he even gets to the line of scrimmage. Now, the
Oh yeah,
secondary stats is, and this goes to good how good Saquon Barkley is in second level and open field yardage. They rank 10th. That's top tier in the NFL, and that's because of Saquon Barkley. So
yeah.
the Niners need to clog up the hole and have to have Jalen Hurts beat them himself. And that might actually work out.
Which
So
he is capable of doing,
yeah, we've
but
seen
I'm
it.
not gonna. I'm yeah. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna put my money on Saquon, not on Jalen Hurts. Well, we'll just say that.
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
can
this is
definitely
just gonna
understand
be a
that.
Saquon. I think this is a Saquon game
Hmm.
all the way through.
Absolutely.
I One of my player props I have his over rushing and receiving yards combined. It's at 102. I think he can get half of that in the first half easily, even
Like
more. Like what you said, their blocking is awful. Just do screenplays. They don't have a guy named Fred Warner who's like the natural predator out there. He looks like Predator when he plays. It's
I thought he
scary.
was going to come back and play
But
in this game. For the love of God, from what
yeah,
everything I was reading,
yeah,
I was like, this guy's an animal,
yeah,
and I wouldn't be shocked if he was out there. But it doesn't look like he's going to play. I do think that if they do
yeah.
win that next week, he's 100% playing.
And they'll probably be playing in
All right, we're
Seattle.
we're dead on this Oregon game, by the way.
Yeah, dude, Juan, your team is garbage.
Yeah. um,
Juan, the Ducks suck.
I should have known not to pick the Ducks.
Mm,
Um,
Fucking
anyway,
Indiana.
so a prop that I have usually those short little. If Pearsall plays, I like his prop.
It's looking like he's not. It's
Is
looking
it?
like he's not, but from what I read, I don't think he practiced today,
He didn't. Okay, that kind of
which
sucks.
doesn't bode well for him. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know Trent Williams practiced in some limited capacity, but Ricky Pearsall didn't practice at all today.
Jesus. All right. Well,
I know.
his line is not out there, but I know everyone's going to gravitate to Juwan Jennings because of this. But
Look, here's
I
the thing:
think
everybody gravitates towards him, but Brock Purdy never throws him the fucking ball.
because he's
I
not like
swear. I feel like the
he, no, he doesn't, and he needs Pearsall and like Kittle to be out for him to you know be the center of
which makes
attention.
no sense.
It's
Makes no
crazy.
sense.
It's great, but he's so clutch, Juwan Jennings. Every third
Of course
down,
he
he's
is.
always he's so clutch. So you'll get his yards there. I think Purdy doesn't really throw to him, but if Kendrick Bourne's line comes out, if Pearsall doesn't play, and we're looking at 27.5, 28.5, if we think that
Mhm.
Philadelphia is going to have the lead in this game and they're going to have to score, he's going to have to get involved. And two
Of course.
plays easily gets that to him. Two catches because he's always like 15 yards a pop for his yard. He's not really like a 2 yard Debo, catch the ball to the line of scrimmage kind of guy. So he's more middle of the field down, down towards the end of the field. So I
Yeah.
think I'm just gonna wait for that line. Like I said, I'm on the Niners money line. I am on the Niners six, and I'm gonna wait and wait and wait. As soon as it goes back down to 5.5, I'm gonna take it. But if they keep giving me 6.5, 7, 7.5, I'm just gonna wait till kickoff. I don't care.
Yeah. I got McCaffrey over 5.5 receptions. It's plus money. Um I just feel like Purdy's just if he's not throwing it to if Pearsall's not playing, I could easily see McCaffrey getting 6 catches in this game. Um and then I also have Hurts anytime touchdown. You know they're gonna run a tush push down there. It just seems like it's inevitable.
I'm also on
And
Purdy
then
rushing yards too. I'm gonna throw that out there
yeah,
because when they've been behind in games or they have a shootout game, he's running with the football, especially with Pierce all
yep.
hurt. And if Trent Williams doesn't play, which is also another thing, I think he might because he usually toughs it out. I know
Well,
last week he didn't.
he's leaning towards he will. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so then if he
You know
does play,
another
then
you
for
know another
sure.
line? Oh my god, he fumbled it again.
I'm telling you, this
Dude,
guy's
this
a
guy
Jet.
has to.
This is
This
the
guy
Jet.
has to.
Yeah, he's a Jets quarterback.
He's worse than DJ Uyunglele. Like he's that bad. This
Yeah,
guy.
I
This
don't I
guy
don't like this
sucks.
guy. That
One
Hoosiers are
prop
just a good
though that I
team.
do like,
Hmm.
sneaky prop. Like you're this is a prop that you're going to have in your pocket, and it's gonna cash in the fourth quarter with probably 4 minutes left. You're gonna sweat it out the whole game. Kyle Juszczyk, over 6.5 receiving yards. I think they're just going to throw him out there at one time. They're going to get him the. He's getting at least 1 to 2 catches a game in the past 3 games with Purdy. Um, right now he has 2 catches for plus 150. His over receiving yards is 6.5. I mean, to tell me that he can't get that on 1 catch.
They definitely can, especially
So
now we're Pierce all out.
if you're
So,
feeling if you're feeling frisky, you parlay the two. You do 2 catches for over 6.5.
all
Thank me later.
right. So
It's one of those. It's one of those like where your sister just likes to, let me just. Oh, Angie's here. Yeah, let me just take the 15th tight end on the roster.
oh yeah, she'll find. I have to actually ask her. What Niner tight end did they just bring up from the practice squad that's going to score? So, um, let's see. All right, so we put him at a good time on that one.
Look,
Let's kind of run through.
yeah, she'll play Luke Farrell. Yeah,
Yep.
he'll score.
Because better put respect on my talent. It
Yeah,
is
I know.
honestly a sick talent. I don't understand how it works. I don't.
Not gonna lie though, Jake Tonges at plus 1400 looks pretty nice.
Oh, it's delicious. Ange made that bet 3 weeks ago. Um,
Yeah, of course she did.
so the next game, and I like this game a lot, but the Chargers and Patriots, I
Hmm.
don't. Everything just screams Patriots. The Chargers are
Hmm.
not healthy. The offensive line is bad.
Yep.
Joel Alt's not there.
Fine.
I don't think he's coming back either.
Give it to me. Just tell me.
I want to take the Chargers so bad, bro. I
Come
really
on.
do. I just want God. It just
To make you feel any better, I'm on the Chargers.
it
It
does.
screams. It screams that they want you to just take New England,
Yeah, why is it
but
three and a
I'm on the
half?
Chargers. Exactly. It's almost like they're
Like,
baiting you. Like, come on,
yeah, they
3.5,
absolutely are baiting.
3.5, 3.5. The rat line. They want you to take the cheese. I'm going with the Chargers. I don't know why. I'm just going with the Chargers.
Oh my
I think
God.
that
I
the
just don't want the
Patriots are
Chargers to
just.
do it. I just don't want the
Chargers will
Chargers
do
to
what the Chargers do best.
exactly.
They
And
will choke. They will choke. They will blow it. But you want to know what it is? It's going to be 23-20. We'll be covering. We'll send our slips in. We'll win, and we'll thank the Chargers every year for blowing it in the playoffs. And they'll lose by 3.
cash in the ticket.
Listen, just be thankful it's not 2.5. If it was two and
That
a
would have
half,
been
I'd have to
worse.
go
That
to
would have
New
been
England.
worse. Yeah, that would have been worse.
3.5, I'm on the Chargers. I could see them losing by a field goal in this game. I don't think that the Patriots. Granted, the Patriots' offense has looked almost unstoppable. But my Pop Warner football team, when I was in 6th grade, could play against half the people on the schedule that the Patriots have played.
That is 100% true. And here's the thing. So you know why we always talk about the Chargers and the Chargers are going to Charger. That's just the way it works. That's
Yep.
just the way it's. I think this year has been maybe one game like that instead of usually like 4 or 5 like normally kills them. There's been one game
Yeah.
like that, and I don't even know if I really blame them for it. Is when they lost to the Giants in Week 4. They started off 3-0. That's West Coast to East Coast. That never works out. This is also West Coast to East Coast, but this game's at night. It's not 1 o'clock in the afternoon where these
No,
Chargers
this is
players
4:30 for those boys. This is
exactly,
This is regular game time for the Chargers.
exactly.
4:30 in the afternoon.
And I think that game just wrote Giants all over it to begin with because I actually bet the Giants that day because I think Dart started his first game at quarterback. and everyone was so excited. Especially, I think he came in the game before and looked good, and everyone was just MetLife actually was alive for the 10 seconds it was this year, and right then and there, I was like, all right, this is definitely a Charger game to lose. Now, throughout the rest of the year,
Hmm.
they haven't had a game like that they were probably supposed to win. Maybe outside of the Commanders, but that was early in the season when the Commanders were actually fully healthy before the injuries killed that team, and James Daniels, kind of he got hurt as well. After that, man, the one game against Jacksonville, which Jacksonville was just not a good matchup for them. It's not gonna never be a good matchup for them. They're too physical. They're too um, talented all around, and just eat the Chargers alive in every skill group. They lost to Houston 16-20, and we'll talk about Houston, in a couple of minutes. 16-20 in a game, you know, that could probably classify as a Charger because I think what's his name missed 3 field goals or something like that. Was it Dicker?
Yeah, Dicker. Yeah,
Yeah,
Dicker.
but I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna hold off for right now. I think I will take the points, but I do want to take the money line. But I will wait to see what what I put out there later on. If
That
there's a,
game, if that game drops to like 2.5 or 1.5 by the time the game starts, I might just go money line also.
you know what, this is
Like I
what I'll
have
do.
them at 3.5.
This is what I'll do the whole weekend, based off how the weekend is going, will dictate if I take the money line or not. I think I'm going to take the 3.5, but if I have a good Saturday and have a good Sunday before that game starts, then I'll gamble and put some money on the Chargers money line. But if I'm having an even day or a shit day, then I'm just going to take the 3.5 and call it a day. I think it's the only thing I actually really like in that game. Maybe Diggs. I can see Diggs, but Stevenson's
Hmm.
been running the shit out of the ball, and they're off. They're running. I
Yeah,
think they get was Will Campbell back this week.
I believe so. Yep.
Yeah, and that only helps with that. The Chargers' run defenses, and then you have two good running backs between Henderson and Stevenson. So
The Chargers are a very average team at best. It's just they get a lot of Harbaugh does help with a lot of those wins. It's just coaching, but I like Herbert over 28.5 rushing yards.
yeah,
I
me
think
too.
if the Chargers are going to win this game, they have to run. He has to run. Um, I like Orlando Gadsden over 30.5 receiving yards. I
Hmm.
think he could easily get that number. And then, like you said, Stevenson's just been on fire, whether it be running or receiving. I got him over 2.5 receptions. It's at plus 124. And then I'm also on the Chargers plus 3.5.
I might take Stevenson for a touchdown plus 140. It just
That's not bad.
no. This will be the game. I've been waiting for Henderson to actually get the bulk of the carries. This is the game that Henderson gets 15 carries and Stevenson gets three. I don't know why, because that's just the way it's been
Yeah,
going for that. You think you figure it out, and then all of a
last
sudden they fix it.
yeah, like last week I was so high on Stevenson and everybody was on Henderson because of the incentives or whatever the hell it was. And Stevenson like had his rushing prop in like the first 2 seconds.
Hmm. Yeah, they destroyed Miami. So,
Yeah.
all right, I think we're kind of in the same lockstep of this
Hmm.
game. So I'll let you kick off the next game between Houston and Pittsburgh. Um, it's being your team. So go ahead, go for
Yep.
it.
All right. Well, first off, I hate that this game is on Monday night. I wish it was on Saturday because I can get it done and over with. It sucks that I got to go through a whole weekend, go through a whole work day just to stay up until midnight again. Um, but I kind of already have this AFC side of the playoff bracket figured out, and just stay with me for a minute. I've seen this before. Um, if everything goes right and everything is going how I say it's going to go, uh, I think the Steelers are going to win this game. Mike Tomlin is unbeatable at home on Monday night. He just doesn't lose.
It's
Something
20.
about
You think like
Pittsburgh
23 and nothing or something like that?
He's 23-2. It's insane, and he's 12-0 in their last. He's 12-0 at home on Monday night. Um,
Insane stat.
I just think that this. It's just the Texans.
I think we lost him. I think we lost you, Kev. All right. Well, I'll talk about it until he gets back on. Can you guys still hear me? Okay. All right. So I'll talk about it now. So until he gets back. So I want to take the Texans. I just my hate for Aaron Rodgers obviously runs deep.
I'm back.
Is it?
This is.
Oh,
I
there he is.
don't know
You
what the
good?
hell happened. Yeah, for whatever reason, like my computer was just like, yeah, you're just gonna shut off now. I
So
think this game, um, it's just gonna be Pittsburgh all the way. I think it's beneficial that Pittsburgh got Houston instead of the Chargers and the Bills. If they got the Bills, it would be disaster. But the Steelers love to play against teams that have similar skill sets and similar play styles to them. They strive for it. Um, I think the Steelers are going to win this game. I think that they're most likely going to go to Denver, and they can easily beat Denver in Denver. And then they'll probably most likely go to New England and get my hopes up, and I'll have to watch New England beat me for every single year of my life. But I think the Steelers are going to win this game. I have them. I have them +3, but I also have them on the money line. Um, I think that Houston's luck is going to run out. Their defense has been playing so fucking good. It's honestly amazing. Um, but if you had to tell me, hey, who would you rather take? CJ Stroud or Aaron Rodgers? I know Aaron Rodgers is 41, 42. It's the playoffs. Taking Rodgers. But Rodgers really hasn't had success as of late. I mean, granted, he had to go up against Tom Brady and the Avengers down in Tampa.
not
Um,
too bad. Sucks.
and he hasn't sniffed a Super Bowl appearance in a really long time. But I hate this team
It's
because I hate this team. I love
like
this
me all
team, but I
year.
hate this team. I love it, but I hate it. They
Yep.
give me hope. I'm going into this game on Monday, and I'm like, this is it. The Steelers got the perfect draw. We're going to go to the Super Bowl, and I'm going to get my heart ripped out. And most likely they'll lose this game because I'm so confident that they're going to win. Anytime I'm confident the Steelers are going to win, go the other way. Uh, but I just see that this. I don't know. I just think that this is one of those games where Pittsburgh and Houston, it's just they're going to be trading blows. I know Houston's defense or Pittsburgh's defense really hasn't looked too. They haven't looked like Pittsburgh in a while. They did against in that Detroit game. Um, but I have a couple player props. I have Kenny Gainwell over 5.5 receptions. That's plus money. I feel like that dude is the leading receiver on the team.
like
Um,
watching McCaffrey early on in the year.
yeah,
Just
it's honestly insane.
he's lining up out wide, everything. It's been insane.
Yep. I got Jalen Warren over 51.5 rushing yards. That's going to be a dogfight. I know how good Houston's rush defense is. But if there's anybody that I'll rely on to get 50 yards, it's Jalen Warren. And then I have Jaden Higgins. The name's Higgins for the Texans over 30.5 receiving yards. I think he's a good chunk play guy. He should get that against Pittsburgh's defense and their secondary. Our secondary is trash, and it's always going to be trash. We like to sign players 15 years after their prime. We did it with Joe Hayden. We did it with Darius Slay, who's not on the team anymore. Did it with
Ramsey
Jalen
now.
Ramsey. Uh, it's just what Pittsburgh like. Mike Tomlin. He just loves ball hawks. We need a ball hawk. You're not getting another Palomalu, bro. Sorry. Out those guys.
So
And I'm on the under in that game too. It's 38.5. I'm on the under.
yeah, I don't see Stroud putting up that many points. It's more so I'm just relying on Houston's defense to keep it at bay because they took him out like what in the halfway through the game last week. I was
Yeah.
shocked they even played him for the full game or even close to that. So um,
Mhm.
I don't. Here's if the Houston Texans use Jaden Higgins, Noel, I think. Where is it? Noel or Noel? I think it's Noel.
Yeah.
But
Either way, it's the same.
yeah, if they have to use those guys, they cannot just rely on Nico Collins, Dalton Schultz. That's it. If they want to win in these playoffs, they have to use these guys. They are very talented, like you just said with Higgins. They're very talented. Noel is very
Mhm.
good. It blows my mind. I know they have Christian Kirk. Oh yay, great! But get Christian Kirk off the field and
I
put
know.
these two young
Hey,
kids in. The
put
speed is what
Hutchinson and
kills.
Higgins in.
Yes, put the guys who have speed against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. And yes, what Ann said in the chat, 100%. They need to open up the playbook because it's very vanilla. It's so like just it's like I'm watching when you just ask Madden, for the most basic play. It's like, oh, run up the middle
Yeah.
with Woody Marks. Oh, wait, 2 yard out to Dalton Schultz. Okay, deep pass to Nico Collins. Boom, done. And it's like, dude, use these schemes to get Noel and Higgins open. It
Yep.
blows my mind that they haven't figured this out yet because obviously young rookie receivers they take a little while to get going. By like week 9 or 10 is when they start to blossom. They're just not doing it. And the game they played against the Chargers that they won, they used those guys. I think the first two plays was Noel and Higgins for 70-yard bombs. So if
Yeah.
the offensive line needs to hold up for Stroud for him to take those deep shots, if they pressure Stroud at all, the game's over. Then he's not going to win because his accuracy has gotten worse under pressure than it was his first couple of years in the league, and I'm shocked at that because that was the one thing he was always good at, especially in his college, was his accuracy. But it's just
Yeah.
gotten worse. I do like Dalton Schultz over his receiving because if this game goes to what I think it may, is it's going to be a dogfight, and the only way. Jesus, this guy missed the field goal too. Oregon sucks.
Oh my god, he was short. I was like, I'm delayed, and I'm looking. I'm like, dude, it looks like he drilled this thing. Yeah, this is ugly. This is
Nowadays,
bad.
56-yard field goals are like nothing, especially with the kicking ball and these young. This guy can't hit that. Oh, Jesus, this game's shot. Uh,
I should have known. I should have known because I
Dante Moore,
usually
get
just go
ready.
for.
Get ready to say New York Jet, Dante Moore.
Dude, this guy is so bad. He is so bad.
So
It's honestly incredible this football game. Like watching. Like I know Indiana's got a good team and Kurt Signetti's awesome, but like Jesus Christ, Dan Lanning, like what are you do? Like he might get run out of Oregon. Good, I'll take him back at Georgia.
so yeah, back to him. So I'm gonna go. I don't have a. I think I want to take Houston. I'm on Houston. I'm not sure what I'm gonna bet yet. I'm gonna see what this line does if it moves at all. If it does, I don't think it will.
I feel
Um,
like you're hesitant on Houston just for the fact that they're laying the number in Pittsburgh.
yeah, yeah. If it was the other
And
way
it's so
around, I would be
weird.
on Houston.
It's so weird too. Like when that line opened and I saw Pittsburgh was getting points at home on Monday night, I was like, is this a typo? Like I thought that game should have honestly been Pittsburgh probably minus 1.5. I don't like. Granted, I get Houston's defense is really good, but like their offense really hasn't impressed me that much as of late. It's really they could just suffocate you.
They can't run the ball either,
No, they don't know
and
who the hell they want to
and they
use. They got
refuse
Woody
to
Marks.
use.
They got
They
this other
refuse to
guy. They got Nick
use.
Chubb.
Yeah, they refuse to use Woody Marks on every down. They refuse
Don't
to
get
do
that
it.
at all. Don't get it.
So
Kicker
yeah,
props.
I,
Yeah,
kicker props.
if honestly, you want to know what's a
Fairbairn.
good one? Well, that one. But last week I had Boswell 7+ points. That thing cashed easy for me. So
Even with the
let's see,
miss.
kicking. Yeah, even with the miss,
Well, I
cashed.
guess he didn't miss it, right? It got blocked. They said it actually got blocked by
Yeah,
one.
changed. Yeah, they changed it just because of certain things. Well, right now, uh, wow, that's crazy. They don't even have anything for Boswell as far as kicking props go.
Still trying to find him
They
under
only
the
have
debris. They're still trying to find him under the debris that the Pittsburgh Steelers fans threw at him, and then they stopped because of what
oh
happened.
yeah. Meanwhile, that guy's been the most consistent player on that team for the past 10 years.
I was gonna say.
Jeez. Well, if you want to look at something here, and we're thinking it's going to be a dogfight, I mean, Kaimi Fairbairn to get 3 field goals is plus 165. I mean, Pittsburgh
I'm
does have
not
a bend
upset
don't
about
break
that.
defense.
I'm not upset
Pittsburgh
about
has a
that.
bend don't break. You could see Houston getting into the red zone 3 times and walking out of there 9-0 or
What's the
nine
temperature?
to seven. It's going to be cold, clear. It's not gonna. There's going to be no weather
Good, no
affecting.
rain. Thank God, Jesus.
Nope, no rain, no wind. Shouldn't be windy. I didn't see wind. Um, but right now, fair. See, and this is the thing. Okay, if you really want to, right now, Kaimi Fairbairn's points is over 7.5. That's what the line is. It's at
Hmm.
minus 136. If you like the 3 field goals, it's 9 points. And if you're telling me that they got to at least score 1 touchdown, that's 10. If you take the 3 field goals and the 10 and you parlay that together, it's plus 174, which makes no sense to me, but they're both plus money.
Wait, so you take
Uh,
three? Say that again, because I spazzed
so
out.
so if you take the 3 field goals at plus 165,
Yeah.
and then you take, see, this doesn't make any sense. The 10 points is plus 157, but in a same game parlay, DraftKings is only making
Well,
it
they're not going to do that.
plus
No, because it negates exactly what they're trying to do. So it's not going to let you. It's
yeah,
not that they're not going to let you do it. They're going to be like, all right, well, you're not going to get that much, obviously, because you're asking for 10 kicking points. They're not scoring 10
true.
touchdowns. They're not scoring 4 touchdowns and then 2 field goals. Like, so they're saying
Well, no.
there's no point.
It's not going off of 10 touchdowns. It's just going off of points. So if you're
But
saying that they're going to make 3 field goals, that's 9 points plus 1 touchdown's 10. That would make it the 10 points.
I understand, but how they're going to maneuver it is that they think that 3 field goal already is crazy enough for a plus 165 for 10
Yeah,
kicking points.
the plus one. Yeah, the plus 174 is just like an extra dollar
It
because
hits them because if it's he's
you're only
making
getting
three,
one. You're
yeah,
yeah,
if
you're
he's
making three
making
field
three of
goals.
field goals, then that's 9 points right there. So they're not going to give you a good line
Yeah,
on 10 plus points if you're already kicking 3 field goals. So that makes a little bit of more sense.
yeah,
So
that's true.
all right,
But yeah, that's
well,
something to look at for his.
yeah,
He's got plus money on the field goals.
I gotta find something outside of Schultz to do. Anyway, all right, so let's leave off with this. What's your best bet of the week? Your top bet that you're all over on, and then I'll put out mine as well, and then we'll get out of here.
Yep. Right now I am all over. Uh, it's kind of. I'm probably gonna have him in a parlay because it's like 2 or 3 uh that I really like, and they're like player props. But I love um Aaron Williams over his rushing yards. I think I might alternate that line up to 80. Um, Especially because I think if it's going to rain, they're going to run the ball a lot. He can easily break one. Um, I'm on Trevor Lawrence anytime touchdown. I might go 2 touchdowns. I might go crazy. Or I might just put his rushing yards in with it and parlay that. Um, But
Can we make a big before you keep going? Can we make a crazy bet? Can we make a Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, maybe Brock Purdy, or pick another third quarterback, all the score,
for
and see what
touchdown,
that brings? Yeah, for a touchdown. Because
I'm on DraftKings right now, so I can do that as we
all right,
speak.
all right, let's do that. So let's put Lawrence. He's plus 185. Jesus, 185.
Yeah.
Lawrence. I'm gonna say Herbert plus 475, and then we'll go with.
If you go Brock Purdy, where the hell is Justin Herbert at?
He's like plus
Here we go.
475.
If you go with Brock Purdy, Trevor Lawrence, and Justin Herbert, you're looking at $10. If you do a $10 bet
Plus 11,000.
to win $1,100, win 1,100. It's not out of the water.
You know what? I'm putting $5 on it. I don't care. I'm doing it now.
You almost have to.
Yeah, take a shot. I mean, these guys are running, and if these are going to be games that we think that
Hmm.
they're going to score, they obviously need to score to win, but they need their rushing ability to get them past that next level. They're going to
Yep.
do it, especially
I
Purdy
mean,
lately and what's his name, Lawrence.
you're gonna go with the three.
Yeah, I'm going to go
I'm
with
gonna go
three.
with. I'm gonna add another one, just because I think it's off a game script, and I think he could get one just because of his ability to run. And I hit one with him earlier this year that was insane. Thank you, Jersey Jerry. I'm gonna go with Caleb Williams.
Okay.
Um, I added Caleb Williams, and it's you know you could put $1
Oh,
and
I
win a
know what I'm
thousand
doing.
in that.
Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to do exactly what Big Cat told me to do. You take it with Caleb Williams. I'll take it with Caleb Williams for $2. So it's like plus 52,000. And then I will rebet it with without Caleb and put $3 on it.
Yeah, that's smart. Because if you're gonna initially put $5 on it, you might as well just hedge your
Keep going.
way, so this way you know you at least won one of them, and you get the boost. There's always the boost.
There's always a boost. All
There's a
right. So
touchdown boost.
so okay, so I got that in now. I'm gonna retake it without Caleb.
So right now there's a 30% all-purpose boost on the playoffs.
Hmm.
There's a touchdown boost, and then well, I have an exclusive loyalty bonus
Yeah, I got
for
that
how
too.
many games.
Thanks for being a
So
degenerate. Here you go.
yeah,
Here's a boost.
thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for staying with us. Appreciate it.
You don't get money, you get a boost.
So
Thanks.
yeah,
God. They're all the same at some point.
yep,
All
that's
right.
what I'm
Well,
rolling with.
cool. I'm with it. I locked it in already. That'd
Yep,
be
me too.
awesome. That'd be awesome little thing. I'll put it in
That
the
will
chat for
be
everybody.
electric.
I'll put it in the chat for everybody. Tomorrow morning once I put out the official plays. On that note,
Yeah.
I'd like to thank everybody for popping in, listening to us, enjoying. Hopefully, we made it fun, and we look
Yep.
forward to doing this every single week. Um, I would say from now until I would say probably July or August, depending on some crazy weeks like maybe Super Bowl week and March Madness week. That we'll probably do one show a week, and if we get higher demand, we'll do two shows a week. But like Kev said, if we have any emergency podcast to do, we'll do that as well.
Yep.
Um,
And we'll probably
by
do live streams.
Yeah, true, absolutely. And then also in August, as many of you, everyone knows that I'm a sadistic fantasy football player. Um, we'll have two shows a week starting in August. One for mainly fantasy purposes, one for everything, and we'll go through it, um, one by one.
Yep.
But we'll talk more of that as we get closer to that time of year. I can't believe it's the NFL playoffs already. feels like yesterday was week one, or at least I was
Yeah.
drafting. And it's always the best time of the year until it's the worst time of the year when it's officially over. So, again, thank you everybody for coming on, enjoying, interacting with us. We look forward to doing this every week, and we can't wait
Yep.
to see you guys next week.
Yeah.
So,
Bovo, gotta say, I love the picture, dude. I couldn't, I didn't even see what the hell that was at the beginning, and then I was like, wow, that's a great picture.
for the longest time, I was trying to figure it out because I was always like zoomed out from like my phone,
Yeah.
and
Well, I was
I
going
popped
back
on
and
it.
forth between tabs, just to looking at the lines and stuff like that, and I come back and I just see Mike Tyson, and I'm like, that's a great picture.
You were looking at the lines, and then you saw the real lines.
Yeah. Yep.
So, all right, thank you everybody. Have a great night. We will be
Thanks,
back
guys.
next Friday. Picks will be out tomorrow. Love you all. Thank you so much, and have a good night.
See ya.